Viongozi wa kanisa Katoliki humu nchini wanakutana kutoa mwelekeo wake kuhusu masuala kadhaa yanayohusu mustakabali wa taifa. Tusikize kinachoendelea kwa sasa.
Let us not focus on material corruption alone. All that promotes the culture of death is corruption, such as the destruction of our environment is corruption. Killing unborn children, infidelity in marriages, and domestic violence is also corruption in the families. Selling drugs to the youth, enticing them to promiscuity, and abusing them is the worst form of corruption. Soliciting for favors and privileges to the disadvantaged of others by either bribing or using bribe, tribe, religion, clan, political affiliation, office, or intimidation is also corruption. The attempt to cheat during exams, even after many concerted efforts by the government to stop the vice, is a terrible form of corruption that will destroy the credibility that we have as a country. What we are witnessing during the exams of the impunity with which candidates, teachers, and cartels are determined to obtain leakages is a sign of already a decaying society of people who don't believe in honesty. We must liberate ourselves from all these evils by taking a personal firm stand against all forms of corruption. This is what the Catholic bishops did in their anti-corruption launch in Subukia Shrine, where they invited all the Christians and people of goodwill to do the same. We still invite you, Father, to make a commitment to stand up against corruption. Let us come forward to make the pledge of no to corruption. There is no other way to tackle this vice of corruption than by making a personal decision to live on what we have legitimately acquired and to refuse to live beyond our means. Hence, we must listen and interrogate our conscience, that inner voice given from God, which tells us to avoid evil and do good. This will help us to awaken the sense of right and wrong. Truly, we have a window to liberate our country, our society, and ourselves from the enslavement, and we must slay these dragons now. The Nairobi Summit on International Conference on Population and Development, that is ICPD. We wish to bring to the attention of all Kenyans our concern on the upcoming Nairobi Summit on ICPD 25. This summit, under the guise of advancement and development of women, is advocating the so-called sexual and reproductive health and rights, and comprehensive sexuality education, and the way to achieve this development of women. We do not believe that these are the issues that truly concern the development of women and humanity at large. Any meaningful summit will be expected to focus on a program that targets actions that will uplift women and children living in extreme poverty, migration, strategies for development, and literacy and education, encouraging the culture of peace, supporting the family as basic unit of society, ending violence against women, as well as ensuring access to employment, land, capital and technology, among others. We reject the introduction of these ideologies centered on gender and other alien practices which go against our African culture and our religious heritage. We view this agenda as an intent to corrupt our young people and enslave them to foreign ideologies, for example, same-sex union and active homosexual activities. Number 3, Crisis of National Hospital Insurance Fund, NHIF. We, your shepherds, and indeed all people of goodwill, are deeply concerned about the growing debt of NHIF to be paid to our health institutions across the country. In fact, many of our health facilities and other faith-based health facilities have been experiencing a serious crisis of NHIF non-payments to a point where it is difficult to procure medicine or pay salaries. If this situation persists, it threatens to cripple important services and therefore deny our people the health care due to them as a right. After raising this issue and seeking urgent intervention of the government, we are hopeful a solution will be found as soon as possible. Conclusion. Dear Kenyans and all people of goodwill, we, your shepherds, believe that it is possible to win the war against corruption, to say no to evil tendencies, to work towards a new and just society. As we break the chains of corruption, we break the vicious circle of evil and begin to live. As the book of Psalms exhorts us, today, if you will hear his voice, harden not your hearts. That is Psalm 95, verse 7 to 8. Let us listen to the voice of God, which is a voice of truth and justice and integrity. Let us all stand against corruption. God bless you. God bless Kenya. You are